Hello everyone. In this today's session of business communication, I, Dr. S.R. Pagare, welcome you all. In today's session, we will be learning types of formal communications, that is upward and downward communication. So, let's first see the types of formal communication. Communication process is classified into the following on the basis of the flow of information. First, vertical communication. Second, horizontal or lateral communication. And third, diagonal communication. In vertical communication, we have upward and downward communication. So let's see what is downward communication. Downward communication is the communication where information or messages flow from the top of the organizational structure to the bottom of the organizational structure. That is from the upper level management to the lower level management. Downward communication occurs when information flows down the hierarchy from superiors to subordinates. It can be in verbal or written form. Orders, guidelines, posters, job sheets, manuals are the main examples of downward communication. Here you can see a chart that shows the downward communication. In this chart, we can see the managing director gives the instructions to the general manager. Then he gives the instructions to assistant general manager. From assistant general manager, the information is passed to the departmental head. From departmental head, the message is passed to the supervisors. And from supervisor, it reaches the employee workers. That means from upper level management, the information passes to the lower level management. Now let's see what are the advantages or merits of downward communication. First is delegating authority and responsibility. Delegation means entrusting the subordinates with some responsibilities along with due authority. It is essential to make the subordinates capable in performing their jobs. Since downward communication starts from higher level, it helps managers in delegating authority and responsibility to the right persons. Second, marinating discipline. Downward communication occurs in conformity with officially recognized rules and regulations. So, it helps in establishing official discipline in the business organization. Third, increasing efficiency. Downward communication provides necessary guidance, orders, instructions, and explanations to various complex issues to the subordinates that ultimately increase the efficiency of the employees. Fourth merit, informing organizational plans and procedures. In an organization, the top level executives develop the plans, policies, strategies, procedures, etc. Downward communication plays a significant role in communicating those plans, policies, strategies, and procedures to the lower levels of the organization. Fifth, explaining the complex issues. Sometimes subordinates need explanation to organizational policies and procedures. In such situations, managers rely on downward communication to provide necessary explanation and analysis. Sixth, issuing orders and instructions. Downward communication is the only means to circulate various orders, instructions, guidelines, and advices to the subordinates. Without downward communication, organization is like a boat without a boatman. Seventh merit, avoiding bypassing of hierarchy. Downward communication takes place by following the established chain of command of the organization. Thus, it reduces the chance of sending message to someone through bypassing the immediate subordinate. Eighth one, maintaining good labor management relationship. Downward communication helps to create and maintain a good labor management relationships in the organization. When top level executives communicate with their subordinates sincerely and courteously, it develops good interpersonal and intergroup relationships between management and works. In turn, this motivates the employees and ensures good labor management relation in the organization. Now let's see the limitations or demerits of downward communication. First, time consuming. Downward communication is a delayed process. In this communication, information flows through different levels of hierarchy. As a result, when information reaches to the lower level workers, it may have lost its significance or utility. Second, distortion of information. Downward communication also suffers from problem of distortion of message. People have a tendency to modify or manipulate information. Therefore, information is passed from one individual to another or from one level to another. Authenticity of information is lost. Third, lack of explanation. In most cases, downward communication contains messages without necessary explanation and clarification. For this reason, subordinates fail to understand the message accurately. Fourth, deterioration of relationship. Heavy reliance on downward communication also deteriorates the labor management relationships because it does not provide any scope of direct communication between them. Fifth demerit is lack of feedback. Absence of feedback is another major drawback of downward communication. The top level executives usually place little or no importance to the messages received from subordinates. Superiors hardly seek feedback from the subordinates. Due to negligence of the superiors, subordinates also seldom send feedback. As a result, communication becomes ineffective. Sixth demerit is lack of enthusiasm. Managers send orders, instructions and advices to the subordinates through downward communication. This form of communication energizes and activates the employees. Therefore, delay in the downward flow of information adversely affects the enthusiasm of employees. Seventh, creation of frustration. Downward communication is directive in nature. This type of communication hardly allows the subordinates to discuss any matter with their superiors. Moreover, the subordinates are compelled to follow the orders and instructions of the superiors. Such coercion creates frustration in the minds of the employees. Now let's see the second type of communication, that is upward communication. Upward communication is the flow of information from bottom line employees to top level management such as managers, supervisors and directors, that is from lower level management to upper level management. Here in this chart we can see managing director, GM, assistant GM, department, supervisor head and employee workers are there. But the flow of information is upwards. Employees report to the supervisor, supervisor reports to the departmental head, department reports to the assistant general manager, assistant general manager reports to the general manager, and then he turns to managing director. That means as the flow is upwards from lower level management to upper level management, we find the flow of information. Now let's see the merits of upward communication. First, it fosters friendly relations. Upward communication helps to bring about cooperation, goodwill and understanding among employers and employees. This stimulates friendly relations. Second, it provides valuable feedback. Upward communication provides valuable feedback. The superiors come to know how their plans and policies, orders and instructions are being received and executed. Third, encourages participation. By encouraging employees to make suggestions, upward communication helps to bring in elements of participative management in the organization. Fourth merit is two-way process. Upward communication is a part of a two-way process which promotes better understanding between management and employees. Fifth one, making suggestions. The employees are encouraged to make suggestions in the interest of the organization. Some of these suggestions prove useful and the employees are suitably rewarded. Sixth merit, introducing new projects. Upward communication creates a healthy relationship between the management and the employees, and this in turn makes it convenient for the management to introduce new schemes or projects. Employees' morale is the seventh merit. Upward communication develops and improves employer-employee relations and promotes employee morale. Now let's see the demerits of upward communication. First, resistance from employees. Employees rarely initiate upward communication as they are afraid of being ignored. Such communication often meets with improper recognition, so they hesitate to initiate it again. Second is fear of incompetence. The subordinate communicating with the superiors fear that their colleagues or work may be regarded by their superior as a reflection on their own competence. Third demerit is indecisive superiors. If the superiors do not take any decision in the light of upward communication, the employees lose confidence in their superiors. Fourth, messages not heard. Often messages do not travel upwards. They merely rest with the inactive or indifferent superior. Some managers are poor listeners. Some simply hear messages without taking any action. Fifth demerit, unwillingness to admit failure. Many employees in lower hierarchy are insecure about their jobs and uncertain about their future prospects. They therefore feel unwilling to discuss their on-the-job problems with their superiors. So in today's lecture, we have learned the types of formal communication, meaning, merits and demerits of downward communication, and the meaning, merits and demerits of upward communication. We shall see the next part of business communication in the next session. Till then, enjoy learning. Thank you.